Hello, I'm back. This time with the second part to this breastfeeding topic. Congratulations, first of all, to you mommies. Um, Motherhood is so beautiful, and we all do it differently, and I think that's something that um, makes life richer. We get to learn from one another. So if you have any breastfeeding tips or have a favorite video that you know of, please add the link to the description box. Let's help each other out, please. And if you have not subscribed, please get to that red button, hit it, girl. And then you can share it with your friends or someone you know who can use some breastfeeding encouragement. Come on. Thank you, by the way, for sharing the video and for subscribing. So let's get on with it. So how I survived, at least how I believe I survived breastfeeding, was first off, I co-sleep. I know it's not popular, at least in the medical world, it's not popular. When I went home, with my firstborn, and you'll hear me say firstborn because I have twins who are my stepsons, who are my oldest. So I had them first before I ever got pregnant and all that goodness. So my firstborn, on the way home after the C-section, after I was discharged, they told me not to co-sleep with the baby. And so that first night, I was like, okay, the baby is awake. Now I have to get up. And then have to go to his crib, like walk there, and then pick him up. And then put him back in the bed. And then I have to get in the bed. And then lay down. Only C-sectioners know what I'm talking about. That is some serious pain to do all of that. Just to get up and exist, it's hard. So after I fed him the first time at night at home, and I had to get up, pick him up, and then put him in the crib, and then walk back to my bed, and then get in the bed, and then lay down and hear him cry just a few minutes, hours, who knows how much time actually went by. And I had to get up again, and then stand up, and then walk to his crib, and then bend down to pick him up, and then lift him, and walk, and then get back to my bed, and lay down again to feed him. Yeah. No. I thought that was the devil himself, to not co-sleep. So I just fell asleep in the bed with the baby nursing. So ever since then I said, nope, I am definitely sleeping with the baby. That's what makes sense to me. That's what works best for me. And so it was very easy. That's actually my favorite nursing position, is laying down. Okay? I love that. And what I also did was take myself off of the medication that they sent me home with. I did not take Percocet, but I sure did take that ibuprofen. And that same night that I came home, like the following day, not the same night, the following day, I decided to take myself off of the ibuprofen. That way I wouldn't feel like I would sleep heavier than normal. And so that is how I survived nursing the first few days of having a baby. So the other thing, or the second thing, is that I nurse on demand. I heard people tell me all the time, okay, girl, you really want to have a schedule for your baby, put your baby on a schedule. And at first I tried that, and it drove me nuts. First of all, I already had a C-section, so I was physically, disabled almost. And I did have my wonderful mom with me. So she was with me for the first week or two. And that was so helpful. So helpful. So, so I decided to nurse him on demand because it just didn't make sense, you know. So that's how I did things. I found that babies do not have a schedule, a particular schedule. It's kind of like the sunrise and sunfall. It doesn't happen exactly at the same time every single day. There are always other things that are that we have to consider, and just not be on this robot time clock. At the same time, I was a stay-at-home mom, so I had the luxury of time being home, and I had the freedom to feed the baby whenever he wanted to have milk or just wanted to nurse because he was bored. And I'd say this, when I did get a job a few months after he was born, and it was a full-time job, and I found that it was very challenging to keep up with my milk supply, but I still did go home and sleep with baby and nurse him whenever he wanted to nurse. And I did the same thing in the morning. I would nurse him whenever he wanted to nurse. But I only had one time. I was only able to pump during my lunchtime. And that was out of 8 hours. So could you imagine the engorgement I had to go through and all that? That was not fun. And I would even try to refrain from drinking just so that I don't have to be leaking while I'm at work. So, wow, the struggle of nursing and working at the same time. Yeah, so I was able to feel that for just a few months. So, working moms, more power to you. You are the bomb.com. For real. And I had to quit a few months down the line because, of course, my twins had their health challenges, and I didn't feel like it. They were ready to for me to be away like that. Yes, no schedule. No, so what I could say is that you can get a general idea about how long you have, between their naps and when they fall asleep, and when you know that you'll be able to get to know your baby. It's like getting into a new relationship. We both are learning each other, and eventually you'll be able to pick up on a general schedule, but it won't be like an exact time, but I would never force a baby to, sleep at a certain time or nurse at a certain time. I don't think that's healthy. And it's, to me, an unrealistic expectation. And it's like kind of stressing the baby out before he even needs to experience stress, So, anywho, the other thing was I had to really reevaluate in the beginning my view on nursing. So for the first couple of months, I was more of like, oh, baby's awake. Man, he's ready to eat. I'm tired. I'm this, I'm that. And I realized that I need to change the way that I'm looking at nursing. Especially after I stopped working. I had to see it as more of an opportunity. Like, I really have an opportunity to nurse my baby whenever he wants to eat, whenever he wants to nurse. I am just a call away or a cry away, you know? So instead of me feeling some type of negative feeling, I would feel more like, I would say things like, "Oh yes, I get to feed him. I get to help him grow. I get to help his brain develop better, by having this wonderful luxury of being home and being able to nurse him." So I would also, when I was feeling really annoyed, or I just was not in the mood to nurse, but the baby wants to nurse, I would pull out my phone and I would look at articles, read articles on nursing, the benefits of nursing. And so that is something that really, really, really helped me to get over those humps, like for real. That was the best thing I think God has inspired me with to help me continue nursing, because it's hard to, it's something to get used to. That's really what makes it hard. It's just something to get used to. And so I would read articles, watch videos, and, follow blogs of moms who nurse. And I would look up the benefits of nursing for a baby and the benefits of nursing for mommy. So, I would just say, oh, great, he is getting all the vitamins and the nutrients that he needs to grow healthy and to be in good shape and blah, blah, blah. So after a while, I would feel joy and feel optimistic and happy that, wow, I really have this luxury and the chance to help my baby grow. And every good thing that he does, I know it's so funny, it's because I nursed him and I took care of him, So that's how I got through the tough moments where, I didn't really feel like nursing. And after a while, it just became an automatic thing. Once I start nursing, I just get on my phone and I look at benefits of nursing. And then I also did the same thing when I started extended nursing. I did not know there was such thing until I, of course, read. I did not know that if you nurse past a year that it's called extended breastfeeding. I don't know who made that up. I don't even know why that's made up, but that's how, we do things in this country. So, yes, I kept nursing him, and my plan was to nurse him until he turned 3. So, yeah, and we made it to 3. Yes, I did. But, as he got older, things changed because he started to get teeth, and so I took another breastfeeding class again. So altogether, I took 3 breastfeeding classes. I took 2 classes while I was pregnant, and I took an extra class after he turned 12 months because I was really concerned about the biting. I didn't want to get bit. And thank God that he is my favorite nursing baby, my first child, my favorite. He has never bit me, ever. One time he grazed his little teeth while nursing, and, the breastfeeding counselor told me if the baby bites you, to just tell the baby no biting and to put the baby down. So, and you want to say the words so that your baby over time will understand, okay, if I do this, then she's going to stop giving me the goods. And so that's how I did things. I did exactly what the lady said. So even, when he just grazed his little teeth on, he didn't bite me. It just, grazed on his teeth. And I told him no biting. And I put him down gently. And I said no biting. That's how we dealt with nursing and the whole biting thing. Thank God I didn't get bit by him. Can't say the same about my second born baby out of my belly. So, so I extend nursed him. And so the next thing is tandem nursing. Yes, so maybe it was what? About 10 months? No. He was already 1 year old when I found out I was pregnant. And so I just kept nursing him. And I did some research, and nursing was fine, they said. I didn't see much of a problem. I did see that some people did feel like they've had a miscarriage due to nursing while pregnant. So, at the same time, every pregnancy is different. So, for example, my latest pregnancy, I could not nurse. So my second born child did not get milk while I was pregnant with my last pregnancy. So maybe, it happened that way just to make sure that, this baby is healthy and strong and blah, blah, blah. You have to listen to your body, and kind of feel out what is best for you at the time. So with my second child, I nursed all the way to the end of pregnancy. With my third child, I barely nursed. After 4 months, I stopped nursing. So everyone and every pregnancy is different. So I would definitely consult with your doctor, because there's also, factoring in if your pregnancy is high risk. So it all depends, and that's definitely something you should talk to your healthcare provider about. But that's what I did. I did that. And then after I had my second born baby, I put them, when I came home, I nursed them together at the same time. And I was nervous that my firstborn son, was going to have a problem with the new baby. So I'm really glad that, I was inspired with the idea to put them on the breast together. And it was so sweet. Like, they just locked hands and they caressed each other. Well, more of my oldest caressing the baby. And I also used the language of your baby, so I told him that this is your baby and that we have to help your baby. Your baby needs help. Your baby needs some milk, and your baby needs more milk than you. And things like that. So at that time, he was very understanding and able to understand what I was telling him. So yeah, I think they both enjoyed it, and they have a pretty decent bond. At least to me, they do. So we got through that phase of bringing a new baby home by nursing them together, and we didn't have any much of a rivalry, sibling rivalry. My twins were super excited about me just being pregnant and have a baby in my belly. And they were happy baby came home, and it was a lot of fun for them. Um, so, yeah, and then I did the same thing with my latest pregnancy. I had my middle child, or my second born child, nurse with the baby. And it was so sweet, you know. He did the same thing like his older brother did him. He caressed him and he was so sweet and kind to him. Um, and, you know, he would bring a blanket for the baby. He would, you know, make sure the hat stayed on the baby's head. Make sure he put his socks on if it came off. You know, it was beautiful. It still is. So now they just hold hands and they kind of fight with each other a little bit. You know, like really play fight, you know, just, I guess it's a boy thing or something. But yeah, that's what that life is like, you know, tandem nursing. So I tandem nursed my 9-month-old and my 2-year-old. Um, and it's been pretty good so far. So, yeah. Please, again, subscribe, comment, tell me what your thoughts are on nursing, tandem nursing, and extended nursing. You know, if you have any videos or any links that has been helpful to you, that has encouraged you, please encourage someone by linking that, putting that link in the description box. I really want for moms to be able to not only watch my videos, but be able to have access or some more information from you who are also watching the video. I really look forward to hearing your stories. And yeah, do a video. Come on, do a video. Put the link in in the comment section. You know, the more the merrier, because it took me watching videos and reading articles to help encourage me to continue when I hit some rough patches and rough parts on my breastfeeding journey. So, and mothering period. By the way, there is this dope, awesome, wonderful group on Facebook called Mommy Victories. I'm going to put that link in the description box, because if you're a mommy and you don't know about this group, you're missing out. I'm going to put it in the description box. Please join it, okay? Because we can use encouragement and some realness, okay, in mothering and parenting, all right? I see you guys again very soon. I'm going to go ahead and do the part 3.